Hi and welcome to Settle. Today we're here to show you a new feature that's just been introduced to the site that will continue to expand, and it's a fairly significant change, taking into account a number of the features we've had on the site, combining them into a joint usage. Let me show you what I mean by that. When you log on to the site, you'll be taken to your dashboard, and this change at the moment is limited to the standalone child support calculator to the left menu here. So if we open that, you'll see in addition to the 5 worksheets that we've offered previously, what we now have is a worksheet A, net income, and a worksheet C, net income. What we have done on those is we have taken the net available income component of Settled and we have combined it with either worksheet A up to 109 overnights or worksheet C over 109. When you come, in this case, we'll go to the worksheet A calculator. You'll come to a familiar looking interface. It's based off of the child support user interface, and it has the traditional inputs for the child support as to income for the particular parties, as to the filing status, the exemptions, those and the deductions, those coming from the net available income calculator. And what we'll do is we're going to do a scenario here where you have a plaintiff having custody of 2 children with the appropriate incomes. And let's just say that the plaintiff is receiving $1,200 a month being paid by the defendant. We've noted filing statuses and exemptions for the federal tax implications. We're just going to say no support, no other children in the home. Let's say that we have $400 of daycare balanced against $100 of health insurance. Now, when we go down and we do the calculations, we're going to be able to see a number of things for analytical purposes in determining financial issues relative to the party's income. First, we'll see our norm, the $10,800 combined income. We'll see the allocations of the 2 amounts of income as far as it goes with the percent that each party has. But then what we'll see here is we will see that the child support is $1,311, and then what we have done is we have taken into account the plaintiff and the defendant's base salary, and then we have looked at implications for the payment of child support and the payment in this situation of $1,200 alimony. And we see that based on federal considerations, that alimony cost the plaintiff $180 a month. The defendant receives a benefit of $336 as a result of their tax bracket, and their net available income is $42.99 for the plaintiff and $49.60 for the defendant. So now, rather than having to transfer numbers over to the net available income calculator, which is still available on Settled, you can do everything under one calculator. As with any of the features that we have, you can generate a PDF to print out the caption PDF if need be. Well, when I say caption, in this standpoint, it's the standalone, so you couldn't. So at this point, it's not available uniquely to each of the client sheets that you have. Although that is something that continues to be in development. There's another feature that we've incorporated into this as well. If you take away the alimony and you come down to the target alimony feature here at the bottom and you press that, what you can do is you can say in this scenario where this client has $2,000, let's say that we needed to get that client to $39.75. Those were their expenses. We'll put in $39.75 or any number that you want, and now when you do calculate, it is going to show you that you would need $711.94 alimony, which would create $1,402 on the child support to get to the targeted $39.79. It'll show you the net available income for each party. You can turn this around. Let's say that the defendant only needed $51.50 each month in expenses. You can enter $51.50. You can select the defendant, you can press calculate, and it will show that in this scenario, the defendant would pay $861 in alimony to get to the defendant having the targeted amount, and we'll do the child support up here as well. Now, In addition to doing both of these, what you can do is you can balance the incomes by pressing calculate after selecting balance, and it's going to show to balance the incomes of the parties, it would require 1738.48 in alimony, which would give 1211 in child support. And with these two incomes from the beginning, what you would do is you would end up with the incomes balance. Now, let's say, for instance, that in a scenario such as this, that the plaintiff only needed $3,000 a month. If we enter the $3,000 and we do the calculation, you're going to see that the alimony is zero, because just at these numbers, the child support is $1,600. So the $1,600 plus the $2,000, there is no alimony to consider here, so no cost or benefit. But the net available income, if it is more than what is noted, it will ignore the alimony component and only put away this. So, for instance, we needed to get $3,600 here. If we come back here and change this to $3,600, it will show us in that scenario that what we would end up with is a very de minimis amount of alimony, but that would create the amount need be there. So this is going to allow for some further analysis. It's going to be able to return the cost benefit for each party, and it'll also give you these tools to play around to home in on specific amounts of alimony. So that calculation works exactly the same for the worksheet C. And then, just as an aside, and we'll be doing a different training video in more detail later on this, but we also have a compact version that that'll allow you to do things from just one screen as opposed to moving around through and through, but there'll be a training video on that later. Again, as always, thank you so much for your continued use of Settle. Please email us at info@settle.com if you have any questions or any thoughts or suggestions. Thanks much and have a great day.